Hello, and welcome to Crypto News today, April 9th, 2026, and the top crypto news is as follows. We'll start today's episode with the White House, where we see things aren't so bad with the banks. As you know from Crypto News, banks say that if they allow exchanges to offer interest rates on stablecoins, this will destroy small banks and their future. Nevertheless, White House economists concluded that banning cryptocurrency companies from offering rewards on stablecoins would have minimal impact on community banks, boosting their lending by only 0.026% despite the industry's warning of catastrophic losses in deposits. More specifically, as the White House states, even taking into account every worst-case scenario that requires a six-fold expansion of the stablecoin market capitalization, the report's authors noted that community banks would see lending increase by only 6.7% or $126 billion. So as we can see, there's no immediate problem for banks, but I believe banks are looking long-term because they are institutions. They are theoretically immortal, so they look ahead decades, and banks know that young people are increasingly entering crypto to invest, seeking better opportunities than the traditional system. So they know that because new generations prefer crypto, they will generally lose a lot of power in the future, so they're trying to limit the crypto market as much as possible to secure their future. Moving on now to quantum computers, there's new research saying we're about 3 to 5 years away from seeing a sufficiently capable quantum computer. More specifically, in a report by the Bernstein team, they described quantum computing as a manageable upgrade cycle rather than an existential threat. That is, we need to continuously upgrade to deal with them, and it's not that a quantum computer came out and crypto died. As long as the construction of quantum computers powerful enough to threaten Bitcoin remains years away due to significant technical obstacles and high costs. The report estimates that the cryptocurrency industry has about 3 to 5 years to prepare for security upgrades after the quantum transition, thus allowing the transition to cryptographic standards resistant to quantum computers. So we have another statistic to consider. Nevertheless, since this report came out, an announcement also came from Cloudflare, which is a company that 25% of the internet, if I'm not mistaken, runs on this company, which is also preparing for quantum computers. And as it tells us, the company plans to make its entire platform resistant to quantum computer attacks by 2029, achieving efforts to replace internet cryptography that powerful quantum computers will eventually be able to breach. The only thing we take from this is that Google has also set a goal to be quantum resistant as a company by 2029, so the giants see this date. And now I'll take you to something that could threaten the crypto market faster than quantum computers, and that's AI, and we'll go to a new model from Anthropic called Mythos. More specifically now, Anthropic confirmed yesterday the existence of Claude Mythos, its most capable model to date, and announced that it won't release it publicly. The reason isn't legal or regulatory, but has to do with security, as Anthropic argues that this particular model is essentially very good at penetrating various things, that is, breaching security systems. And to be more specific, according to Anthropic's official blog, this particular model managed to find security problems essentially in software that was 27 years old and 16 years old. That is, software that programmers considered to be perfect, in quotes, for being in the market for so many years without any problem, as thousands of capable programmers haven't managed to find any problem. Nevertheless, this particular model managed to find problems, and let me tell you that hackers know this too, as artificial intelligence has already been widely adopted by hackers to conduct cyber attacks. According to research, there's a 72% increase in AI-supported cyber attacks on an annual basis, with 87% of global organizations facing AI-assisted cyber attacks in 2025. So to make it even simpler, Anthropic created a new model that is incredibly good at breaking security systems, I'll put it that way, and finding problems that hackers can exploit to breach the infrastructure of large companies and cryptocurrencies. You'll see at the end what I mean. So to address this, Anthropic created an alliance called Project Glasswing that will give access to Mythos only to a few selected cybersecurity organizations. Among these are companies like Amazon, Cisco, Linux Foundation, Microsoft, and 40 other teams that maintain critical software. Anthropic's addition commits up to $100 million in usage credits and $4 million in direct donations to open source security organizations. The idea is that if the model can find gaps, let the companies that have large infrastructures and support the internet find them first, and then they'll release the model openly. Now I want to take you to crypto, and specifically to Charles Hoskinson, the founder of Cardano, who spoke about this issue essentially saying that if this model came out today, within 6 to 12 months, the capability capabilities of this model could be transferred to open source models. And from there, where we would have hundreds of security breaches on the planet, this would rise to thousands because, for better or worse, this model I described doesn't just help capable hackers and make their lives even easier. It can help even people who aren't so capable with computers to breach security systems, as I understand it. And Charles said very correctly that the crypto market is among the first markets that will have problems because crypto is essentially software. And not only that, it's open source software. This means that all the code is open and free on the internet. And the best part is that the crypto market also has a lot of money on it that with one breach, someone can just take it, as we've seen in crypto news. So such a model would help any hacker a lot. Let's say now that Charles himself calls on the entire crypto market and says that he himself will contact Anthropic so that Cardano and Midnight become members of Project Glasswing so they have access to Mythos so they can scan the code of both Cardano and Midnight to find problems before this model is essentially released and anyone can have access to it. And of course, it's good for the entire crypto community to make an alliance, I'll put it that way, to face this new threat that may come in the coming months. Quantum computers still have several years ahead of us, and it's time for us to go to our beloved crypto market. Bitcoin is holding at $70,000, and let's see what's happening with Asia. First, let me tell you that Iran is demanding payments in Bitcoin. Yes, you heard right, after the successful 2-week ceasefire, which we'll see if it holds. Between the United States and Iran, Iranian leaders announced a Bitcoin-centered plan to maintain control of the Strait of Hormuz while allowing oil tankers to navigate normally through the Strait of Hormuz again. Nevertheless, the Iranian government will impose a fee of $1 on each barrel of oil passing through the strait, and the fee must be paid in Bitcoin, according to the Financial Times. Each ship seeking to pass through the Strait of Hormuz must first send an email to Iranian authorities regarding the contents of its cargo and then wait for approval. Once they receive the green light, ship operators will have a few seconds to send a Bitcoin payment to a wallet controlled by Iran. Such a system, they say, will ensure that fees cannot be detected or confiscated due to sanctions. At this point, let's say they can very well be detected, but they cannot be confiscated at all. So these are Iran's latest plans for Bitcoin. And let's go to the front now. First, let me tell you that Iran declares it will withdraw from the ceasefire agreement if Israel continues to attack Lebanon. Additionally, Iran says that America has violated 3 parts of the 10-point agreement it sent to America and America supposedly agreed to. Nevertheless, the White House says the agreement doesn't include Lebanon essentially. Nevertheless, Iran disagrees, and that's why the Strait of Hormuz has stopped. Nevertheless, in other sources I read that it hasn't completely stopped. The traffic has just been greatly reduced. And to finish with Iran, let me tell you that Iran's National Security Council warns that if attacks on southern Lebanon continue, missile and air units will be able to hit Tel Aviv within hours. Now from America's side, Trump declares that any country supplying weapons to Iran will face tariffs of up to 50% on all products sold in America, without exceptions. And he's pointing, Crypto News believes, at China for this. While Trump says all troops in America will remain in the region until there's a real agreement. If the agreement collapses now, as he declares, the shooting will start bigger and better than anyone has ever seen before. And for the cherry on top, Trump is considering moving troops from Italy, France, Spain, Germany, Romania, Poland, Lithuania, and Greece, possibly to Asia. That wraps up the top news for crypto today, April 9th, 2026. I'd like to remind you that the content you just watched is created for educational purposes only and should not be considered as investment advice, but rather as investment opinion. Please subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and feel free to comment. Take care everyone, and have a good day.